The COVID eligibility came out.
Yeah.
Chuck called him. It wasn't Alex. Chuck made the decision. He's coming back for year 5.
He'll be back for year 5. Sophomore eligibility right now. But Chuck, who I've been in touch with too, man, if you're a parent of a college lacrosse player, this ride's just as special, right?
Absolutely. Time and room and a bullseye for Evan Zinn. We're tied at 2.
Evan Zinn is an interesting player, Drew, for Virginia because he's a transfer from Johns Hopkins where he played a lot of offense. But his speed is ridiculous. And when he plays short stick defensive midfield, when he clears the ball, they're okay with him staying. And Lars Tiffany told us this week they want their short sticks to stay because guys like Evan Zinn with all the Alana got the win.
He loves it. He was probably asking for 61. Joe Bresci tells us that sometimes, wow, what a shot and a goal from Cole Herbert. Carolina back out in front. Herbert's got his first today.
You want to see, obviously, Chris Gray in that attack going, but for this offense to take it to the next step, it's all about the Carolina midfielders. Them stepping up, becoming big-time goal scorers. Cole Herbert's the only double-digit goal scorer for Carolina this season. He played as a freshman a season ago, found some valuable minutes in that second midfield, but they need him to be big.
Schellenberger couldn't handle that pass. Garno scoops it up. 12 on the man up. What an underhand find and rip for Patrick McIntosh. Patty Mack ties it at 3.
This is a catch and release, all in one. As the Cavalier fans see 18 in white with a beautiful left-handed goal with low angle, right? So Colin Krieg's on the pipe. I don't know how he sneaks this by him. I don't know if he's a scratch. I think he is close. But he's got the hips and the torque. Heard he drives the ball a mile. And you watch him shoot. He's aggressive with his hips.
There is Griffin Schutz. Dodges like a bulldozer, finishes like a marksman. 4-3 Cavs.
And this is what he's exceptional at. For a young player, when he makes his move, Drew, oftentimes he's patient enough to get his hands free, and he loses angles, right? But you see his low-angle shooting ability. And this year, playing midfield, he's starting at attack. He's played up top more than ever in his career. He was an attackman in high school playing conference. Notre Dame's playing teams like Georgetown and Maryland, the top 2 teams in the country, right? They played them both tight.
Shot and a goal. Peyton Cormier has his second tally today, and the Who's have a 2-goal lead.
He's so good off the ball, and his rules in terms of feeding him are a little bit different. Like when he might be covered, you still throw it to Peyton Cormier because he catches everything, right? On the high crease right there, he can lull the guys. You know, on the contrary, too, you have teams like Michigan out of conference. They start 7-0 with a weaker schedule. Now they're in conference play 7-5. Cormier again.
Before you can even blink, it's a hat trick for the junior out of Ontario, and a 3-goal lead for the Who's.
No Matt Moore. We need a little bit more from 24 in white. Some of the midfielders, the unknowns, stepping up. This is a team that's loaded with talent and superstars. And when you have a conductor in Connor Schellenberger who just feeds the ball at an elite level, and I mentioned earlier, right? He knows when Cormier is coming. He goes on to win a national championship. That was Bucknell's opportunity.
They're good again this year.
Yeah, the Patriots.
Connor Davis.
Yeah, there's...
Underhand shot is buried. Jeff Connor joins the party. It's a 5-0 UVA run going back to the first half.
The one thing that's impressed me with Jeff Connor today, his feeding ability behind the cage. This time he takes the rock himself, stings it. The Who's are rolling. He's a #1 defender, but he also adds so much to the ride game.
Matched up with Gray. How did he get that one to go? It's a hat trick for Chris Gray. He has contributed to all 4 Carolina goals, and it's their first goal since the 7:57 mark of the second quarter.
All 3 of his goals today, Drew, are lefty, right? So they start him off the pick, and although like his separation right off the shot isn't the pick gave him a little bit of momentum, right? It allowed him to get to full speed, and Kastner have to adjust, right? So he starts with that pick behind the cage. The videotape of the years in college lacrosse. Chris Gray's first 2 years at BU, the last 3 because of COVID in 2020. Yeah,
this is big. That's Andrew Tyre who grabbed his leg. We got a flag on the field. Remember,
you see the setting, right? Like
it's the best.
All the fans on the berm.
The baseball field is right over our shoulder. This is just a beautiful area. Schellenberger turns and hits. First goal for number 1. By his standards, it's been a quiet day. Schellenberger makes it a 4-goal lead.
I was on the field pregame while he was warming up. He was on the field just with Jeff Connor well before warm-ups, and I talked to him. One thing that people don't realize is how strong he is. Like, he is a weight room warrior. We talk about LaSalle getting after it in the weight room. This is pure strength. We talk about Connor Schellenberger's footwork. We talk about his skill, but that is just a strength up. You know, in long term, you obviously want your superstar in every game, right? A guy like Matt Moore. He's one of the all-time greats at Virginia. It's a heck of a check right there.
Tyler Schwartz, 43, the freshman, Schutz picks it back up. Freshman on freshman, and 2-6 gets the better of this one. Schutz has his second goal this afternoon.
Drew, I want you to think back earlier in this game. Xander Dixon around goal line extended, had no angle, he shot high, right? Lance Tillman around goal line extended, had no angle really, shot high. Griffin Schutz right now places that ball perfectly, right? If he shot high there, no dice, because Colin Krieg had the pipe, he was occupied.
Here's Jeff Connor. You're right, Kark. He's been really impressive operating at X. Here he goes again. Connor with the setup. Cormier with the backhand score. 4 goals for Peyton Cormier today. It is all Who's in the fourth quarter.
Jeff Connor came into today's contest with only 5 assists. He could have 5 assists today if people were finishing. But this time he knows who can seal the deal. 24 in white has ice in his veins, right? Like, he's an instinct goalie, right? So when you have that extension, right, that guy that just knows everything about the position, it's huge.
Becoming a pipeline for UVA with Alex Rode, who was one of the best goalies in the country for 4 years. 2-time champ. Zinn, you bet! The freight train is off and running for UVA. 2 goals today for Evan Zinn.
Lars told us this week, we're not in a rush to get these guys off the field. It's because they're offensive players. Zinn is a speedster, but showing you time and room, he can let it fly. Great technique, too. Straight overhand to the bottom corner, offside on a lefty goalie. All year-long commitment. And you want to capture it in April and May.
Virginia did that today. They absolutely stymie Carolina, hold the Tar Heels to 4 goals, and Lars Tiffany's team bounces back from the loss to Richmond and moves to 8-2 this year. We're going to take a short break, come back and break it down, get some final thoughts from Kark.